Hello. I'm here and I feel like it's like the walk of shame. Like when you know you haven't done something in a while or haven't been somewhere in a while and you're supposed to be showing up for these outings or events or commitments and you're like, "Hey, I feel like I'm in trouble." But it's mainly for myself. It is for myself. I'm here today because I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm fearful of YouTube. I've filmed a ton of videos that I've made with the intention to post on YouTube, to edit and to put on YouTube. And I'm gonna show you guys my hard drive file folders so you'll see tons of videos in the archives. I don't know what it is. Like I just either don't like the idea, forget about it, I procrastinate, I'm gonna edit. And then I like get into the edit and then I'm putting all these memes and trying to make it interactive and like trying to do all this stuff and trying to align myself with an old version of YouTube that I used to be. I used to do a lot of really involved edits and, skits and music videos and lip syncs and like crazy editing and all this. And that's what I kind of go into and put this unnecessary pressure on myself when I'm coming into the YouTube creation space. I'm realizing that hesitation is really the content. I need to talk about this. And if you're new here, let me just pause. If you're new to my channel, if you're new to me, my name is Asha Jailani. I am a creative everything, as I like to call myself. I do a lot of different things in creative. I love to direct. I love to concept, visualize, edit, produce, co-create. Everything. Music. I love everything that comes with creation. Mainly filmmaking is my biggest passion of them all. I have a podcast named Gwenny Coded. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I feel like I can't claim YouTube. And this is my video of trying to build trust within myself and figure out what YouTube even means to me anymore. I realize that I'm a little scared of YouTube. It feels daunting. It feels intimidating. And it's so funny because when I was a kid, some of you may know, I was posting on here all the time, making content all the time, not thinking about views, not thinking about people watching it, people engaging, subscribing. I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was just purely making videos because I genuinely enjoyed it, posting it because I thought it was fun to add to the community and like be a part of this creative spirit, And now I'm 27 and I'm looking at YouTube like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Which is so crazy because like, how do I do the math? Literally almost 20 years ago, because I started doing YouTube when I was like 8 or 9. That's when I first started getting into it. Almost 20 years ago, because I started YouTube when I was like 8 or 9 or something, 9 years old. I was just in it. And now I'm like, oh shoot. But something is calling me to really come back into this space. What it is it's so funny because on TikTok, I love being on TikTok. I can just pick up the phone and start recording and it's not a big deal. But there's something about YouTube that has this connotation of responsibility and genuine, for real consistency. And I think there's all this talk about what it means to build a brand and build a niche and build a following, all these things. And people apply that same mentality to TikTok, Instagram, etc. And that it's true. Like you do that. But I'm the kind of person where I'm a creative everything. I've talked to so many people, like higher ups, and they're like, you gotta choose a role, you gotta choose a lane, you gotta choose If you say you want to be a creative director, that is what you do. That is what you market yourself as. That is how you introduce yourself. And that is what you do. That is what you do, or else everyone's going to think you do everything. And you're always going to end up doing everything, and you're never going to do what you want to do. And it's like, to a certain extent, I understand what they're saying, but that is just so unnatural to me, you know? I've never, ever, I'm realizing this actually as I'm saying this to the camera. I've never ever just done one thing. That has never been the way I was as a kid. I've always had multiple interests. I've always expressed and explored multiple hobbies and skills and things. I do one thing and I want to try something else. I do one thing and I want to try something else. And as an adult, we're just forced to have this one-tracked mind mentality, especially as a creative, which is so ironic. Is that the correct term? Because it's like, as a creative, you should be able to express everything, but then people are like, they want to label you as one thing, but then say you're a creative, like you shouldn't be labeled. It's like, so it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's so like convoluted, you know? And I think as I look at the next like 5-10 years of my life, I know exactly what I want to do. I know exactly who I want to be. I know exactly who I am. And something is calling me to come back to YouTube for real. Like, I think something is just like, dude, you need to just try a way that is no formula, no science, no pressure, no crazy planning. Like, just as you would on TikTok, turn on the camera and freaking film. And yeah, I mean, like, with my podcast, that takes a lot of planning. And, you know, I come with topics, I come with, you know, this outline, so my brain has like controlled thoughts, and I actually, you know, give you guys like a solid episode to listen to. And I haven't done that in a while. It's been a while since I've came back to my podcast. I needed time. I've needed a lot of time to just sit and think and process 2025. Honestly, process the last couple years of my life. I put this pressure on myself to get it right. I've always been like that since I was a kid. Put this pressure on myself to get it right. Or like I said, when I go into the edits, I'm like trying to be like make it funny and cooler with the memes and the things and all the zooms and the punch-ins and the jump cuts. Then I'm like, what the heck? Like, though that is my style, I love stuff like that. I'm like, but this isn't like what I am now. Like, I'm not the same Asha that I was when I was in college or in middle school and high school making YouTube videos, you know? I think that trying to do it right is what has stopped me from putting out videos, from continuing, from finishing the project, you know? My spirit is craving for something more real and more aligned. And I think that's okay. I think that doesn't mean that you failed. I think it just means you're trying to figure it out, you know? I'm trying. At least I'm trying. Also, another big thing is like the algorithm. All this talk of like TikTok being sold to you know who, and then like all these different machines like taking control of Instagram and the algorithm. And we know like there's so many societal, political things that go into it. One of the things lately that I've been doing is, as soon as I post a video that I like edit, like with intention, like I'm like, this is a video that I do. I do a lot of like, come with me to the movie videos on TikTok, or like getting dressed to go to the movies, or like whatever, you know, things like that I enjoy. I actually thoroughly enjoy making those. Sometimes I'll just like post it and then I'll be like, okay, refresh to see like how the performance is. Lately, it's starting to become a little bit unhealthy and just like, am I okay? Like, am I okay? You know what I'm saying? And it's like putting this pressure on my content to do well instead of just trusting that it's gonna find whoever it's meant to. That's the fun part about building a community, like how I was when I was younger, it's part of just putting yourself out there and just enjoying that, you know, for yourself. I'm in this where it's like, it feels fun when I'm making it, and then when I have to edit it and think about packaging it and finishing it, it's like, oh, like fatigue and like stress, and that pressure comes. And it's not, I'm realizing that that relationship is not good. Something's wrong there, you know? And I want to heal that part of my creative spine. I mean, editing is the way I got into content creating. I really loved making. The process of editing was actually my favorite part. It used to be filming was like the most daunting, because it's like you got to set up and you got to do this and you got to shoot and you got to make sure you're getting all the, you know what I'm saying? But that used to be a little challenging for me. And editing used to be like where I really just flow. And lately it's kind of been the opposite. Yeah, I'm just trying to like figure that out and figure out the balance between amongst it all. Because there's so many components. And then also like I'm doing this all myself, you know? So that's also like, I'm the producer, writer, editor, director, you know what I'm saying? And I've been like that since I was 8, 9, 10 years old, you know? So I'm just kind of tired at this point. I'm 27, so I'm like, damn, you know? But I don't know. I still love it. I'm just trying to figure out what it means to me now at this stage in my life. But I think this is important. Like, doing a video like this is important, because I'm not saying I'm coming back to YouTube, right? I'm not saying like, this is it. This is me. Hi guys, I'm back. Like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just doing this for myself to be like, you can do this, and you can just set up your camera and talk to it and post that on YouTube. You don't have to have perfect cinematic frames all the time and perfectly color graded frames all the time. Like, you can literally just do whatever the you want. Really, it's really that simple. And getting back to that part of myself is kind of this chapter that I'm in, and I'm kind of loving it because it's endless, you know? That's the part about creativity that we love so much, is it's endless. And I have examples of that all around me. Literally, this painting I made when I was in college in my art class. I made this sculpture when I was in middle school. It's a Polaroid camera. It says YouTube, because I was making YouTube videos. There's popcorn, there's a movie camera, and a director chair. And that's me sitting on the director's chair. And I painted my name, but it's smudged now. Tumblr and Twitter, because I was obsessed with Tumblr and Twitter. These were my platforms, guys. It's the freaking Instagram app with the mustache on it. And then I tried to write One Direction, but I forgot the C in direction. But like, this is little middle school Asha right here. I made this in middle school because I knew that this is what I want to do. I want to be a creative director. I want to be a director, making videos, making movies, YouTube, Twitter, and Tumblr. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this literally in the 7th grade. And it's just like, this is my reminder. You know what I'm saying? I keep it by my bed. Right above my bed. Because that is who I am. And this is my intention with this video, is I want this channel to be low pressure. I want it to be a space that I can return to and just be Asha like I've always been. And a place where I can honor that. You know what I'm saying? Honor middle school Asha. Honor the little kid that just always wanted to just express and create and put myself out there. It's not about the pressure of consistency. It's not about returning with perfection or returning in, you know, this crazy regime of, I'm going to make videos weekly. I'm going to make videos twice weekly. I might make this video this month and be like gone, and then make a video next month. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully not. I definitely want to be on here a lot more because I'm always on TikTok. I'm always on Instagram. I definitely want to give YouTube more love. But it's like, I want to build that trust with myself to know that I can do this again, and learn that trust is built by repetition. It's built by action. It's built by showing up, and I want to show up for myself in this space. Acknowledge the fear. And I know a lot of people feel it too, because I've talked about this with my friends and just other peers of like YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to conceptualize, you know? But I want to make this fun again. Like, I love creating, and YouTube is such a fun platform. It's actually one of the last platforms left where I feel like there's authenticity, like genuine authenticity left. And yeah, if you stayed for this part of the video, thank you for watching. If you're someone that has supported me, shown up for me, and has been subscribed to me and has followed my journey since I was little, or wherever you found me in my journey and you're still here, thank you so much. Because that's what it's about. It's about community. It's about supporting each other, you know? And I appreciate you guys for seeing me, because that means so much, especially in a world like the one we live in times like they are now. It's really cool to know that people see me and hear me, and, you know, we're locked in. So, yeah, I think that's it. Okay, that's it.